One question for Cam.
Yes.
Who is the D lineman? My apologies. Who is the D lineman that will step up and complement Bain? One question for Mark. Well, let's go that direction.
I mean, if you're talking specifically with edge rusher, I think that getting Akeem Mesidor back healthy is a huge step. I think that getting Nigel Kelly back healthy is a huge step. And I think that some of these freshmen can come in spaces, in spots and really be impactful. You look at a Marquise Lightfoot out of Chicago, kid who was a super high riser through the rest of the recruiting process, dominated in a couple of All-American games, ends up number 34 overall on 247. He's just outside of 5-star range. Rivals actually did give him his 5th star. He's top 20. I think he was like number 17, both on his jersey and his ranking in the final Rivals rankings. I didn't see what On3 did for their end of year rankings, but they're still new-ish, so I'm not really sold on 100% their evaluations. But I mean, you have a guy who's really shown the ability to get after the quarterback, right? I think that he can come in right now and make an impact in spots. Booker Pickett Jr., I know that he was said to be playing between will linebacker and edge rusher, but this is a guy who simply proved to be unblockable, again, at multiple All-American games. That's a guy who might be able to step in and flash. And then you have other guys on the roster. Jaden Wayne is a guy who has great physical talent, an high school All-American from Seattle, and then he ended up transferring to IMG Academy. Maybe he takes a step forward in his development. It's looking maybe that he's more of a rotation guy than a standout guy, but so your rotation guys can come in and be, impactful in spots. So specifically at defensive end, I think that there is a wealth of talent that we can lean on to complement Bain. And I'm also interested to see how often he kicks inside, because he does have that more boxy frame. And I think that, defensive tackle, that's a spot where I'm okay with the depth. I would prefer to have one more adult body, like a 3rd or 4th year, 6'4", 310-pound guy, like another Jared Harrison Hunt type guy in that room. But I think it'll be interesting to see when he kicks in, or how often Bain kicks inside. And like Gregory Rousseau, when he kicked inside, that's just unfair for opposing guards of pretty much every single team. But yeah, in terms of defensive end, I think it starts with Akeem Mesidor, like I said, who's been all conference in 2 different conferences. Nigel Kelly, who, I was saying was going to take a huge leap last year, coming back off of injury. Starting with those guys and then going down the rest of the list, I think that's a reasonable spot to look for guys who can complement Bain on the other side of the line.
And Light Skin Cage, appreciate it. Question for me, is the Cam Ward move the type of overcome the odds move that other elite head coaches make at top programs? Well, I think we've got to view this in regards to this being a very different landscape in college football, that we are seeing the fire hose just bust loose. So we've had a couple different transfer portal cycles prior to this, but this has been the one, especially at this position with the level of marquee players. Cam named a few at the younger stages of their careers, Malachi Nelson and Dante Moore, but Will Howard, Cam Ward, Will Rogers, KJ Jefferson, on and on. We're talking like 12 to 15 starting quarterbacks at Power 5 programs that are switching spots. But Cam Ward, out of all of that, as our Cam, described off the top, and we've had this discussion many times, has been the guy that every significant scout, development person that is around the game 247, all the various sites, everyone has pinpointed as the guy. And look at Ohio State and what they're doing in the transfer portal, and they didn't get that guy. They went to the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, whatever you would rank Will Howard. So Cam Ward, yes, this is a significant, could be game-changing, program-changing type of move, because we know that the quarterback position is the pivotal position, and that is the pivotal player, and that's what Miami has lacked, among other things, over the last several years. So they got a guy that has all the skill and all the ability to make it happen. Absolutely.